I'm going to go back a little bit in history. So during the 17th and 18th centuries, advancements in seaports, canals, and river navigation enabled commerce and leveraged America's extensive waterway assets. And in the 19th century, steam engine-powered boats and railway locomotives dramatically opened up the western frontier. And during the 20th century, the automobile potential was expanded with the building of the interstate highway system, and we harnessed also the sky and space. So the need and quest for more, better, safer transportation technologies never stops. In fact, the history of innovation and transportation are intertwined. So take automobiles, for example. They've changed a great deal over the decades, and thank goodness, in significant part because of the vehicle technology advancements. Annual traffic fatalities have actually declined 33% since 1972. And that achievement occurred while vehicle miles traveled actually increased 156%. The fatality rate in 1972 was nearly 4 times higher than it is today. And one thing we now know, and that is that newer cars are actually safer cars. Our data shows that your chances of surviving a serious crash nearly double if you are in a new car than if you are in a car that's 18 years old or more. So further improving traffic safety remains the department's greatest and ongoing transportation challenge. 2018 marked the second consecutive year of declining crash fatalities. And initial data for the first 3 quarters of 2019 indicate another yearly decline. So progress is being made. And in the past few years, a number of safety technologies have become commonly available in new cars, including blind spot monitoring, adaptive cruise control, lane departure warnings, and automatic braking systems. These are just a few. These driver-assisted technologies are instrumental in automated vehicles, which are among the most exciting ongoing developments in transportation today. Automated vehicles will someday advance traffic safety as they transform surface transportation. Automated vehicles have the potential to save thousands of lives annually and improve the quality of life through reduction of traffic congestion, increased productivity, and environmental benefits as well. AVs would restore also mobility for millions of people who face transportation challenges, such as the elderly or the disabled. In 2017, the U.S. Department of Transportation provided voluntary guidelines on the development of automated vehicles. It was called Automated Driving Systems 2.0, A Vision for Safety. And in the following year, the department actually addressed AV developments across all surface transportation modes. And that is because the developments in technology in this field was happening so quickly. So we came out with AV 3.0. Basically, it's entitled Preparing for the Future of Transportation, Automated Vehicles 3.0. And today, I am pleased to announce the release of AV 4.0, Ensuring American Leadership in Automated Vehicle Technologies. AV 4.0 is a joint White House and U.S. Department of Transportation initiative. And the takeaway from AV 4.0 is that the federal government is all in for safer, better, and more inclusive transportation, aided by automated driving systems. AV 4.0 unifies AV efforts across 38 different federal agencies and departments, and independent agencies and commissions and executive office of the president. You get the drift. This document and set of guidelines recognizes the value of private sector leadership in AV research, development, and integration. This kind of innovation requires appropriate government oversight to ensure safety, open markets, strategic allocation of public resources, and of course, protection of the public interest. But realizing the vast potential of AVs will require collaboration and information sharing among industry partners, state and local governments, academia, nonprofits, standards development organizations, and of course, the 38 different federal government agencies, independent commissions, departments. So AV 4.0 will inform this collaborative effort in automated vehicles for all stakeholders and outlines federal government efforts to address areas of concern. AV 4.0 establishes U.S. government principles organized around 3 core interests and their components. The first principle is protect users and communities. AV technologies are not yet advanced enough to enable wide-scale deployment of fully autonomous vehicles. As development continues in the years ahead, the federal government's areas of focus in protecting users and communities will be to, number one, prioritize safety. Safety must always be number one, and it is at the U.S. Department of Transportation. Number two, we've got to emphasize security, especially cybersecurity. And number three, we've got to address public's concerns about increasing mobility and accessibility. And ensure, number three, is ensure privacy and also data security. The number two principle is to promote efficient markets. It should not be the role of the federal government to pick winners or losers. So principle number two entails, number one, remaining technology neutral. Two, protecting American innovation and creativity by protecting intellectual property. Three, modernizing all these different regulations. Regulations are needed, but when they become obsolete, irrelevant, outdated, they need to be changed. The third principle is to facilitate coordinated efforts. And we do this through, number one, promoting consistent standards and policies. And two, to ensure a consistent federal approach. And number three, to improve transportation system level effects. As stated in the report's cover letter, the landscape for AV innovation is complex and evolving, but the goals are pretty simple. They're clear and consistent. They need to improve safety, security, and the quality of life for all Americans. That's the barometer for success. And that will be the result of these and other transportation initiatives and innovations currently underway.